Does your plant need a haircut? I have one that does. So this is a Dragon's Tail, and this guy's gotten huge. And I just started with a tiny little cutting, and he's starting to throw out more little guys across the bottom. But if you look, he's then gotten huge. Check that out. That guy is massive. So we're going to take a cutting. Now, the important part for these guys is knowing to not cut the node. So we want to cut in between the leaves, and I like to cut right before the next active growth site. So this is the next active growth site. So I'm going to cut right here. And that's my cutting. Now, for repotting, it seems a little cruel, but go ahead and pull a couple of leaves off. You don't want them dying into the soil. It can be a way for the plant to kind of end up getting some bacteria growth or some rot. Preparing your wandering dudes for repotting. So you've cut your plant in between your nodes. What you're going to want to do is take a couple of leaves off, okay? And I usually just pitch them. Once I've got a couple of nodes that are exposed without leaves, that's what I'm going to plant into the ground. Now, the big guys here I'm going to put into a bigger pot because they're just huge. And some of your Tradescantias or wandering dudes do get larger, like this quad. This quad has a lot more room in between its nodes than others. So on this guy, I'm only going to do one. But I'm going to put these guys together because I think their colors are going to contrast really well. So I'm going to put these guys into the same pot and hopefully they'll fill out. Also keep in mind that if you have aerial roots started on them, these are the ones you want in the ground. But you also, again, want to take that leaf off because you don't want rotting underneath the dirt at all, because that can spread to the rest of the plant. So here's how our wandering dude pot ended out. So I went ahead and put a lot more in here because I wanted some color contrast. So I've got my Dragon's Tail, I've got my quad, and I've kind of tucked them all in, kind of got them into a nice position. And hopefully what's going to happen is all of these guys are going to just kind of lean over. And what they're going to happen is they're going to lean over, they start getting too long, all of those nodes in the bottom will probably start shooting out to try to put out more branches, especially if I prune it to a level that I want. So once it reaches that level, I'll probably prune it, take more cuttings, and let it bush out. Keep in mind, if you're patient with that, you can fill out a pot and make it look absolutely gorgeous. It doesn't take long for these guys to grow roots and or to start going nuts and look beautiful. So keep in mind, something like this that kind of looks a little haphazard, in about 3-4 weeks, it's going to look absolutely fantastic.